Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whoever you are. Thanks for joining us. Zero Authority is a community of people who believe in open source and permissionless systems built on stacks secured by Bitcoin. Today, we're talking to Ken from Xverse. Xverse is a mobile wallet for stacks and Bitcoin. Ken, how are you today, my friend?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so this is the first time we've been wanting to have you on for a long time here. So this is the first time that we get to talk to you and get to learn more about Xverse, how you started, what are some future plans, and some of the community feedback that you have been getting. The product is phenomenal. I know I use it, so I'm just super appreciative that you took the time to go out and build this. So. As we get started here, what made you want to build a mobile app for stacks and for Bitcoin?
I've actually been involved in the Stacks ecosystem since 2017. Back then, the the company that was building Stacks was called Blockstack, and I actually joined Blockstack to work on software.
Mm,
And uh, while at Blockstack, I built a bunch of things that are basically kind of like the building blocks to what we have now as the Stacks ecosystem. So some of the developer tooling, things like storage with Gaia, and I was also I also worked on the first wallet for Stacks. So this
mhm.
was in Stacks version one when all the transactions were actually also a Bitcoin transaction. And uh, yeah, that was a while ago. And and we started working on a second version of the Stacks wallet, and that was desktop only. Um, After the Stacks blockchain version 2 came out. And then last year, I had the opportunity to essentially start my own company to focus on a mobile wallet for Stacks because there wasn't anybody working on it. And, you know, a lot of people are asking for a mobile wallet. And in this day and age, you really can not have a mobile wallet. So uh, I left Hero in late 2020 and started working on Xverse. And we came out with our beta version. Uh, Probably, I think it was in Q2 of last year.
Mhm.
And then we had a beta period where people were testing out, and thanks to all the community members who tested it out, we were able to uh, bring it to production out of beta uh, in October of last year.
Mhm.
And we also went through a security audit with a third-party audit service, and just to ensure everything is secure,
Yeah.
because that's a really important thing for wallets. So now we're the app is live on Android and iOS. Um, we've released a bunch of features since coming out of beta in October. One of the newest features that we released was the in-app browser. So now you can connect to any of the apps built on Stacks through your Xverse wallet. And that basically opens up things like NFTs, DeFi, um, and all the other apps that have been built on Stacks.
Yeah, I saw that too, and that's super cool. Before we dive in there, I didn't realize you were working at Blockstack, Ken. I don't
Yes.
I don't think a lot of people you kind of glanced over that. I don't think a lot of people know like you're one of the original Stacks OGs as well.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, but I guess I've been keeping a low profile.
uh, well, I tell people that I discovered Stacks or Blockstack at the time back in 18 and 2019, and I just thought, man, this thing has so much potential. You were working there, so tell us about the insane amount of growth that you've seen. How how has that been to just kind of watch that? And now you're participating in building an entity in Stack's ecosystem too. Like, how does that feel?
Yeah, definitely the growth was pretty insane since when I joined. I remember the community was pretty small in the beginning, but it was always very lively and everyone was very helpful. And since the beginning, our ecosystem has this sort of uh, uh, openness and transparency to it. So when I was working at Blockstack, all of our team communications are actually open to public. So we the discussions between engineers were open to public. All of our code was public, open source, uh, and I just felt like it really got the community involved, and
Mhm.
that sort of tight knit community has remained in the ecosystem even now. I think Stacks is one of the most helpful and friendly communities in all of the blockchain ecosystems out there.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with that. That's and something I don't tell enough people why I discovered Stacks in 2018 and 19. During that time, during the ICO craze, there was there were only like landing pages. You couldn't really find a lot of information on how does blockchain work. How do you have user authentication? How do wallets authenticate? And I think Ethereum and Stacks at that time, to me, were the only ones actually like putting out written blog posts and written content on how does this stuff work. So that's what really attracted me. And then just kind of the ethos of Stacks has always been learning, encouraging, growing as individuals, and uh, helping people discover their own voice. And because if we promote a user-owned internet and that looks like where the future is going, well, then we own our own data, we own our own brands, our own voice, personality, so forth and so on. And that's everything I've seen in the ecosystem supports all of that. So and just to hear you talk about that really brings me back to why I discovered Stacks. Let me share my screen and just show people the app because I think that's something that's pretty cool. Do you mind if I just share my screen really quick?
Sure, yeah.
Let's see, 1 second. Let's see here. Coming up. Okay, and let me share. So if you guys want to find out more, you can go to Xverse app, and there's I love how the UI and the site works here too. So it's just simple page. You go there, you can download it for your iOS or your Android. Uh, Ken, is that as easy as it is? You go to the site, download the app.
That's right. Yeah.
Sweet. Uh, So will you potentially be in Miami soon?
Ken is first joined.
Can you hear me?
Hey, I'm sorry, I lost you.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, so I'm going to be at the Bitcoin Unleashed conference in Miami, which is coming up next Tuesday. Yeah,
Hmm.
hope to see all of you there.
Yeah, that should be fun. And I know you can't give too many details away, but there may be some cool surprises in the app. I know is that correct?
Yes. So we have, I guess, two surprises. Uh, one of them has to do with the app, and then the other one has to do with a partnership with another project.
Mhm.
And if you're at the conference, we'll be giving away something special. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I wish I was going this year, and unfortunately, I'm not. But if you guys are going to Bitcoin Unleash, please find Ken and say hello. Uh, so, getting into some other topics, Ken, the community support around this has been phenomenal. What is some of the community feedback and how are people using the mobile app today? I know with the in-app browser, that's going to be something that's very interesting. I know I personally love that feature because now you get to connect to Web3 apps and you could do it from your mobile phone. I foresee a future when just it's kind of it really reminds me of the early internet before mobile apps came out and before you had this integration with web mobile TV and iPads, right? It wasn't synced at all, right? So there's going to be a time in the future where all these things just work together and it's going to feel seamless.
Yeah, so the app right now I guess the most important feature would be the in-app browser, and it really does open up all sorts of different applications you want to use with Xverse, and we want to continue to improve the user experience. So in the future, we we don't only want to have people use web apps from within the wallet, but we also want to connect with other native mobile apps that are built on Stacks, and in the future even desktop apps. You could use some sort of wallet connect protocol to connect your mobile wallet with a desktop web app, and you would be able to run all the things that you could do right now in the in-app browser. Yeah.
So how does the uh, yeah, how does the in-app browser work? So like let's say you want to connect to Alex Go.
Yeah. So we use the same protocol that the Hero web wallet uses to interact with applications. So right from the start, every Stacks app that has been built using the Stacks JS package will
Mhm.
automatically work with Xverse wallet. So what happens is there's a some code that is dropped into every website that you browse
Mhm.
that tells the app that this browser can connect with a Stacks wallet, and you can use it to authenticate the user and also initiate transactions. So these transactions could be transferring tokens, a smart contract call, which can do things like swaps, mint an NFT, list your NFT, transfer, stake your tokens. Uh, yeah, so basically any use case that you can imagine.
Hmm. And what has the community feedback been? I've seen the Discord and people are enjoying that you can stack your STX on a mobile app. I think you guys
Yeah,
are the only mobile wallet so far for stacks.
yeah. So I think we're the most popular mobile wallet for sure, and I think we're the only ones that have kept up development. I believe there were a couple in the beginning, but I don't really see them getting updated these days.
Mhm.
But we're committed to continuing to build Xverse and making it better. So one of the most popular features in Xverse is the stacking pool. So what we're doing is creating a pool for users to combine their stacks in order to participate in proof of transfer consensus and
Mhm.
receive Bitcoin rewards. So as you know, there's a minimum amount that you need to receive rewards, which right now I think is about 100,000 stacks, and not everyone can have that much stacks. So,
For obvious reasons, right?
right, yeah. So we what we're doing is combining all these user stacks to have more than the minimum amount. So right now, uh, as of today, there's almost 6 million stacks tokens locked in Xverse pool, all generating a Bitcoin reward. And there's over 1,000 users that are currently using the pool. And we actually just lowered the minimum SDX limit to join the pool from 500 SDX to 100 SDX. So now
Mm.
you can stack with even less stacks. And I think we're the only pool that will pay out directly in Bitcoin, the same Bitcoin that was received,
Mhm.
without converting it to stacks or anything like that. And it's completely free. We don't charge a fee or take anything from the rewards. So yeah, that's yeah.
Wow. So you don't take any fees at all today.
No, we do not. So for us, this is mainly a service that we want to offer to the community for free,
Wow.
and yeah, and it's been very popular.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I saw that too, and I was like, wow, I didn't know. Let me see here. I want to show people the specific tweet here. Uh, when I saw this, I thought, wow, that's really cool. So I didn't know that the rewards were paid out in Bitcoin the entire time.
Yes. So we're one of the only pools that pays out in Bitcoin and is free.
Wow. When when you guys, as far as like just kind of like some operational tests, did that take a while to figure out how did you want to when you were designing the mobile wallet, how did you want to pay out people who were stacking? Uh, did you guys play around with the idea, well, maybe you'll turn that Bitcoin back into stacks, kind of like the Free pool, or was it a no-brainer? Hey, let's pay our the community out in Bitcoin.
Yeah. So the initial design was to try and make it as decentralized and non-custodial as possible. So uh, if it could have been completely automated, we would have done that. But as it turns out, you cannot completely automate it. So there's some form of action required by the administrators of the pool. So Xverse pool is actually based on a smart contract. So the contract is deployed. Everything is open source and transparent. So you can see exactly how many people delegated to Xverse pool, how much reward was received by our pool's Bitcoin address, and you can check on the Bitcoin blockchain uh, who were those people that received all of the Bitcoin that was distributed. Um, Sorry, did I miss a part of your question?
No, 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 no. That
Okay.
you actually jumped right in, which is great because I was going to say, can people see? Uh, Obviously, it's on the blockchain, right? So aside from going to explore, is there a place where people can see where how much mining is taking place or stacking and mining rewards being shared?
Yeah. Yeah. So right now you can actually go to stacking.club and our pool reward address is actually listed there under pools.
Oh, cool.
It starts with like 397 or something like that. And you can track all the stackers who have delegated to our pool. And I can see how much rewards we have received. We're actually working on a web version of the stacking pool of Xsource pool.
Hmm.
So it's launching very soon. So that web version will have more data. For example, how many people are in this cycle, how many stacks were delegated, what were the rewards received, what are the historical rewards that were paid out, what the APY was, and things like
Mhm.
that. But for now, you can take a look at stacking.club to see that information.
Yeah, for those who have never been on the site, it is very handy, and it actually gives you uh, some uh, some information on what is stacking and how does it work. So this is what Ken is talking about. When I first saw this site, I was just overwhelmed, didn't know exactly where to start. So their guide on what is stacking and how does it work, and then show you the current cycles and where we are. It's just phenomenal. It's come a long way for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
For for um, for some of the future things that you guys want to achieve, do you think that obviously connecting uh, to protocols and decentralized apps, it's going to be a must. But what are some other features that people are not thinking that it's possible on mobile today that they're going to do on a mobile phone for blockchain?
Yeah, so some of the features that we're looking at right now include doing swaps on the within the app.
Hmm.
So, uh, one of the really important pieces to uh, creating a tighter integration between Stacks and Bitcoin is being able to do a native Bitcoin swap with a an asset on Stacks. So
Hmm.
that is actually possible, and we're looking into building that into the app, and we also want to work with some of the existing projects right now. So you have things like catamaran swaps, which can swap native Bitcoin with Stacks and other assets,
Hmm.
and we're also looking at lightning swaps.
Hmm.
So uh, with so the lightning swap service lets you uh, create a lightning transaction and use that to swap for assets. And I
Hmm.
believe you can also use lightning to pay for say an NFT built on Stacks.
Hmm.
And in the future, we also want to integrate lightning and become a lightning wallet because sometimes Bitcoin can be uh, not as user friendly in terms of the speed and the cost to make a transaction. And Lightning is basically the sort of scalability layer for that.
Hmm.
And we're looking forward to implementing that to increase the usability of Bitcoin on stacks.
So in the future, maybe some when some stackers go down to Bitcoin Beach and down in El Salvador, will they be able to use Xverse?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. It's just becoming this world where the promise of getting paid in Bitcoin, transacting in Bitcoin, making everything priced in Bitcoin. You can see that it's going to happen. It's not a question of if anymore. It's just when is this going to happen?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And uh, there's some other sort of features that I think would really work well with a mobile wallet. So, for example, I've been talking to some of the guys behind Citicoins, and some of the things that they want to do basically requires the user to be able to present some sort of proof that they are a Citicoins holder.
Hmm.
Maybe it could be to access some services from the government, and with the Xverse wallet, you could hold some Miami coin or New York City coin in your wallet. And if the requirement to uh, enter like an event or some type of government service is that you hold the city coin, you could open your Xverse wallet, show the QR code, and the The person can just scan that QR code, verify that you are a holder,
Mhm.
determine if you're eligible, right? And and then you can go from there. So I think there's definitely a lot of utility to being a mobile wallet.
No, that's cool. And I was going to ask you, are there any NFT projects that are asking you guys, hey, can you help us with like in real life verifications?
So right now, there isn't, but I can definitely see that being a great use case.
Hmm.
So potentially in the next, Stacks events, you could have the pass as an NFT, and when you go to the event and you register, you can just show them your Xverse wallet. You can scan your QR code, and they would be able to get in. I think that would be a really cool sort of way to use NFTs.
Yeah, I saw all of the photos from NFT LA with Trevor Owens, To, and there were a lot of people there actually. And I was looking at Timbo's Twitter from Project Indigo, and I was like, man, I wish I could have went to that. There was a photo with him, To, Lewis, and a bunch of other people, and I was like, that would be cool because they also had the Crash Punks too. Uh, they had some table set up. I don't know the exact layout, but then I was thinking with the Xverse wallet, you can have all these verifications for some of the NFT events, and that would be pretty cool. And you could, uh, I'm sure you guys also are thinking like down the road, like if you attend one of, like let's say you attend a Miami or New York event, you could potentially earn and those tokens as well for the NFT that you brought to this real life event too, right?
Yeah, that's right. And you can also maybe verify that you have your city coins stacked or something like that, and then you can get an NFT for doing so, and that's kind of like a badge, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Where will there be the ability to lock up your city coins, like your MIA, in the mobile app and earn STX, and then take that STX and possibly stack it in your pool and earn Bitcoin? Could that be something as a possibility too? Just need to work out the details.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. So right now you can actually already stack your Miami coin and New York City coin through the in-app browser if you just go
Mm,
to mineCityCoins.com. But we are looking at integrating stacking for city coins directly in the app, so you don't have to use the in-app browser. And it's definitely interesting that you could stack city coins, earn the reward in stacks, and then put that reward into the Xverse pool and earn a Bitcoin reward. So it's it's definitely something that we could work on, and it, it sounds really interesting. Yeah.
and I'm just throwing out some ideas. So Patrick, well, no, I was going to say Kurt, but he's no longer City Coiner. Jake Blockchain, if you guys eventually watch this, this is going to be some cool stuff that I'd love to hear more about later. Uh, we have a few minutes left here. I wanted to ask you, Ken, with development for iOS and for Android, was it difficult uh, doing this in the native iOS? For I think it's Swift, and for Android is it JavaScript?
So we chose React Native as
Okay.
our framework. So it's actually cross-platform, just so that we can get to market faster. But in the future, we might consider building in native Swift or in Kotlin in Android. But for now, we are building with React Native, and it's worked out pretty well for us.
So for any people out there that are are thinking about building a mobile app for Stacks to do something, what advice would you give them, Ken?
Uh, if you're building a mobile app for Stacks, uh, we currently don't have very good SDKs for native mobile apps. So, we're open to working with developers to build those SDKs so that the native mobile app can authenticate with Xverse wallet or any other wallet for Stacks, and just like how the web apps currently work. So if you're working on that, let us know. Maybe we can partner.
That's awesome. Uh, I know some of the NFT, the landscape is changing. The way we're going to start using some of the websites and dApps and mobile apps are changing. But do you see any kids using the mobile app at all, or do you know of any kids that are using the mobile app? I'm curious because I always wonder what's a young person's perspective, and I do think there's going to be a world that we live in where kids don't even get a bank account because they already have their Bitcoin, their Stacks, their Ethereum, their Solana, and so on and so forth, and they'll have their NFTs.
Yeah, so first things, uh, we don't actually collect data like the age of our users, so it's very difficult for us to tell whether or not, you are a 10-year-old, buying NFTs or, 80-year-old sitting at home. So, but I think ultimately, the younger generation definitely is more connected to the crypto universe, the metaverse, and I think NFTs and crypto will be a bigger part of their lives
Hmm.
than ours.
Hmm.
Um, and even in the Stacks developer community, I know of some very young and talented developers who are already building NFTs, building applications. So, you could be 12 and on the internet, nobody would know that.
Well, yeah, that's how I learned Asteria was pretty young because I was following him on Twitter and I was like, wow, this guy is super young. And also, one of our Zero Authority community members, Advisor, he's a young guy too. And I just found out recently. And you brought up an interesting point, Ken, because uh, we're building a platform for Zero Authority, the Creator Hub, the marketplace. And if you guys are interested, please find out more information on our Twitter about signing up to provide a service, or if you're looking for talent. And we don't collect this personal data either. Do you foresee a world where uh, the Amazons and the Facebooks, they the data collection of collecting all of your information that is no longer going to be acceptable in society?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's becoming more and more important that these companies who are collecting your data have to disclose what they're collecting about you, right? So for example, if you're using any app on iOS,
Hmm.
uh, Apple has recently made a change where if the app has to track some data, they have to inform the user that they're tracking them, and you could disable that. And from what I've heard, that's actually had a huge impact on Facebook's revenues because they could no longer track and use the information that they're collecting about the users.
Yeah.
So I think in the future, uh, transparency is going to be very important for these companies when it comes to collecting and using people's data. Um, and ultimately, I think that's a good thing for privacy for us users.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. And we're gonna wrap it up here. One Before we wrap it up, I wanted to say, let's see. Just two quick announcements before we wrap here. Uh, One, Super Fandom has a live auction right now, and so please go check out Super Fandom for more information. They have some really cool NFT experiences. StackSwap is doing a giveaway for NFTs in StackSwap, and so Zero Authority has committed that we will do an airdrop for the Gold Pass and Silver Pass winners, and so please check that out. We'll share some links out. And Ken, the last thoughts here. Please tell us where we can find Xverse. Where can we jump in the Discord and start contributing and sharing our information on how we use the app? Any last words here?
Yeah, so you can join us on Discord. The link should be on xverse.app if you scroll down. And we're always open to suggestions, and we already have a sizable community who's contributing, their feedback, suggestions, and we would love to hear from you.
And please check out their Twitter. You guys have been posting some phenomenal content on how to use the mobile app and how you can stack your STX and earn Bitcoin rewards. Hey Ken, thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks so much for your contributions to Stacks and pushing us forward. Really appreciate it. And after you guys launch some of those big updates coming, we'll have to have you guys back on and we'll do some screen shares next time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one. Take care.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.